Hello Year 7 Maths. Once again we're still on week 5 lesson 1 and we've completed topics 1 all the way through to topic 7. Now we're on the last part of it. This is a little test for you to see how you've learnt, and it's on pages 8 and 9. Let's have a look at it. So this is your unit test. You've got a part A, there it is there, 12 questions. You're allowed 15 minutes to see how far you can get, and you're allowed calculators. And then in the second part, it says in part B, this is 15 questions. Each question's worth 1 mark. Write your answers in the answers only column. Just remember you can use a calculator. So I'm not going to give you the answers. I'm going to show you how to do it by talking you through it. So as a decimal, 5.5%, we found out that we can use a decimal and a fraction to get to a percentage by multiplying by 100. But first of all, we need to change your fraction to a decimal. So it's going to be 5 point whatever 1 divided by 2 is. Then you're going to put it as a decimal, 5.5% equals. So you're going to divide by 100 to get rid of the percentage sign, and we'll see what decimal you get down here. Number 2, an item was bought for 40 and sold for 60. Find the percentage profit on the cost price. So how much did it cost? It cost 40. You can work out what profit you made by subtracting how much it was sold for, so what it was sold for, minus what it cost, and that'll get you your profit. So to find a percentage profit, you need the profit divided by the cost price, which I'm calling CP. Then you're going to multiply by 100% and see how you go with that. Question 3, 12 marks out of 48 is what as a percentage? So already we know that the total is 48. You can write a fraction or make it a decimal, 12 divided by 48. And then what is that as a percentage? So to get the percentage sign, you multiply by 100%. Question 4, what percentage is $6 of 40? This is very similar to the previous one. We don't need the dollars because we know they cancel out as a fraction. So you've got your decimal or your fraction and multiply by 100%. Question 5, 9% as a decimal. So to get rid of the percentage sign, you divide by 100. Number 6, 40% of 120. 40% of 120, you can write 40% as a decimal and then multiply, because that means of 120. Question 7, increase $450 by 20%. Well, that's a strange one we haven't looked at. There's 2 ways to do this. You can either, well, 450% is 100%, you can look at 120% of that, or you can find 20% of means times 450 and add that amount to 450. There's 2 ways to do it. Question 8, 9 over 20 equals. If you want to change that to a percentage, 9 divided by 20, then multiply by 100%. Question 9, which of the following marks is better than 50%? Well, you're going to have to calculate the percentage, get your decimal, 1 divided by the other, and then multiply by 100%. See which one comes out more than 50. Number 10, a toy was reduced in price from 60 to 48. What is the percentage discount? Alright, so it's reduced in price from 60 to 48. So it originally cost 60, so that's the original amount. You can find the discount, how much the discount is, divide it by 60, and then multiply by 100%. Question 11, 15% of 1.5 tonnes. Well, you can find that. Rewrite 15% as a decimal, multiply by 1.5 and see what your answer is. And 1/3 expressed as a percentage, well, you can calculate that, hopefully. 1 divided by 3, then multiply by 100% and see what you end up with. Alright, the second part, part B. This time, you've got to write the answers. So, express 800% as a fraction. So what do you divide by to make it a fraction? You get rid of the percentage sign by dividing by. You can write it down. 33 1/3% of 900. You're quite welcome to use your calculator, or you can change 33 1/3% to a decimal and then multiply by 900. 5/12 as a percentage correct to decimal places. This time they don't want the decimal place as a fraction, they just want 2 decimal places for your answer. So you've got 5 divided by 12 multiplied by 100%. 35 as a percentage of 280, so 280 is your total. You can have a decimal or a fraction and then multiply by 100%. Question 5, 60% of this amount, of means times, and then increase it by 10%. So you find 60% of that, the amount you get, you're going to then increase it by 10%. So you can find 10% of it and then add it to it, or you can find 110% of the answer you get. 4/5 as a percentage, that's just multiplying by 100%. 0.86 as a percent, multiplying by 100%. Question 8, increase $100 by 10% and then decrease the result by 1. Well, that'll be interesting. I'll leave you with that and see how you go. Question 9, change 88% to a fraction. You've got the percentage, percent means divide by 100. That gives you your fraction straight away, and make sure you simplify it. What percentage is 9 of 45? 45 is the total. You've got a fraction or a decimal. You can change that to a percentage. Question 11, a pen was bought for 95 and sold for 125. What is the percentage gain? So you can see the gain. The gain is how much extra to sell it, what was added to it, and change that to a percentage of what it originally was bought for. 5% of 3,500 metres, that's a basic question of means times, so you can change the 5% to a decimal fraction and then multiply it. Question 13, what percentage is 24 seconds of 2 minutes? Just remember, one of these you're going to have to change. I suggest you change 2 minutes to seconds. Then you've got your fraction or your decimal, and you multiply by 100%. Number 14, the price of a new car, 3,500, and after 1 year it decreases by 20%. Find the value now. If it started as 100% and it lost 20, it's now 80%. You can work it out that way, or you can find 20% of 3,500 and take it away. Question 15, what would John pay for a CD player that sells for $550 and is discounted by 15%? So what's he going to pay? 15% of the $550, take it away from $550, or you're going to decrease it by 15%. You started with 100, take away 15, and that'll give you a percentage of the 550 as one step. Alright, thank you very much, and I hope you do well. Don't forget to check your answers. Bye.